Well, hello, everyone. It is Monday, February 10th, 2025, and we are coming to you live at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Let's see here. We are waiting for Alex to get here and Ronnie, it looks like. So we are going to let some people pile in. I've got a new setup for the Restream broadcast on Rumble, X, and YouTube. So you should be able to see everything that is happening on TikTok. Oh, we've got Deborah's here. Hey, Deborah, welcome over on X. So as I said, you should be able to see everything on YouTube, Rumble, and X that we are doing here on TikTok. Now, I've got it kind of jury-rigged in terms of the camera positions and all of the different tripods and stands. And I'm just trying this out to see if the Restream feed is picking up the TikTok stream properly. So if you are on X, YouTube, or Rumble, please send a message. Hey, Annette Larison is here from YouTube, over on YouTube. Wonderful. Okay, so we're letting people pile in here. Oh, Ronnie is here. Great. Let me bring Ronnie on. Waiting also for Alex. So it looks like the feed is working. The TikTok feed being broadcast on X, YouTube, and Rumble. So if you are on one of the alternate platforms, meaning X, Rumble, or YouTube, send me a message. I've already gotten Deborah's and Annette's, so let's see how many more we can get on here. All right, so if you're on TikTok, double tap that screen, share this live out. Let's get a bunch of people piled in here. And if you can donate towards our daily goal, that would be wonderful. I think we've got 20 sunglasses set up. And again, if you're on Rumble, X, YouTube, or TikTok, put a message in the chat and let me know where you're coming in from. Oh, there we go. We got Alex. I thought I saw Ronnie. Oh, there we are. Hey, Alex. Are you there, Alex?
Can you hear me?
Oh, Ronnie, there you are. Okay. Let's see.
Yes.
Let me see here. Alex, I think I got you on.
Well, hello.
There we are. Okay. All right, guys. So we have got a feed going on X, YouTube, and Rumble, feeding off of the TikTok with my jury rig over here in California. So let me know if you can see it or not.
You might take your camera and center yourself just a little bit, Sam, on the TikTok.
Okay, so which way should it go?
Oh, and fix the American flag so it's pointing in the right direction.
I thought on which one? On TikTok?
On TikTok.
All right, hold on. Let me see if I can figure this all out here, guys. Bear with us, everybody. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, that should have fixed TikTok.
Yes.
All right.
Your camera looks good, son.
It looks good. Can you guys, Alex, can you see the other feeds?
I'm on X right now, buddy, looking at it.
Okay.
You're punching buttons.
Okay. So I think we've got it working. Believe it or not. A little bit of duct tape and a little bit of spit, and I think we got it. So.
Is that what Kamala Harris used to use?
Oh, ouch. So we've got Bobby Blue Eyes here from Queens, New York. We have people piling in on TikTok, piling in on X, YouTube, and Rumble. Glad to see everybody. DP Rather is here, Louisiana. We've got Simple Life Lewis is here. We have, oh boy, Deb, it wasn't, I don't know if that was you on X or I see you on TikTok, but I'm not sure if that was you on X as well. We're trying all kinds of new stuff here, you guys. So hang in there with us. Old School Smooth is here. Hey, Old School. We have got, let's see, Adventure Ben from Ohio, Simmal. We've got Sue from North Carolina, Wildflower from Arizona, the Grand Canyon State. Welcome, everybody. All right, so let's kick this thing off, you guys. What do we want to talk about with the Super Bowl?
Well, I think the NFL trolled all of us, and they paid somebody to put out a message because they knew nobody was going to watch unless Elon Musk was purchasing commercials.
Well, there may be a lot of truth to that. A lot of truth to that. But I wanted to dig a little deeper. I found it interesting that we had a PlayStation setup, a PlayStation controller essentially set up for the halftime show. Now, prior to that, what did we see? We saw a whole bunch of military and patriotic messages. We also saw Lady Gaga with a huge white hat on, which I found interesting. What do you guys think about the pregame stuff?
Well, I'll put it to you this way. That was the cheapest Super Bowl budget I've ever seen in my life. Everything was so like high school quality. And I don't get the whole, no offense to anybody, Black national anthem, only Black performers, whole thing. That kind of threw me off.
I didn't get that per se. The announcing of Trump on the field with the military gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
I think there was a countdown with the lights in the stands before the halftime show. Interesting set of things that went on during the halftime show with the flag, the costumes creating an American flag, the A minor necklace that he was wearing, the flags with the A minor that had the two kids pointing to it.
Right.
At one point, all the bodies are laying out across the stage, and there's a circle of white costume folks. And on top of each of the light posts was someone in a white costume. And then after it was all said and done, because I only caught about everything he said, and I had to go back and listen to it again. There's, I think, a lot of good content in there, and you have to ask, is it a battle between the rappers, and are they king of the Super Bowl? Whatever the case may be, or there's some underlying messages in that. But at the end, in the crowd, the lights said, game over.
Exactly. Which happens to be directly from a certain board with a certain 17th letter of the alphabet. Very interesting. Very interesting.
So what do you make out of it, Alex?
I don't know.
Well, I think that's kind of the point, too, is that they left enough to interpretation to make people talk. And I think that's part of what is going on. It's encouraging critical thinking, thinking for yourself.
I'll tell you something I thought was cool. The Women's National Football League, Flag Football League commercial. Read either side of that you want to. But I thought that was a cool commercial. Empowering women to be women and get out and compete as women, and like it was interesting. All the commercials were really interesting. Of course, you can't have a Super Bowl without a Budweiser commercial and the baby horse showing up with the cake. That was pretty cool.
Exactly. So everybody on TikTok, double tap that screen, share this live out. If you can contribute to our daily goal, that would be wonderful. If you're on X, YouTube, or Rumble, please give us the positive affirmation button, the thumbs up or the heart. That would be appreciated. So we have, Deb said that was her on X. Okay, Deb, well, I got you now. Linda Girl said, horrible halftime. G-Ma said, Gaga even dyed her eyebrows white. I didn't see that. I didn't catch that. Excellent. Hey, 80 Deuce Air Cab is here. Welcome, 80 Deuce. Good to see you. Old School Smooth says, Drake likes him young. Well, we're going to have to be a little careful there. Oh, we have Allie Mae here, too. Hi, Allie.
I was so happy to see Taylor Swift get booed and Trump get applauded. I loved it.
Yeah. Don said that the halftime show was so good with all the hidden messages. Well, I have to agree. There was a lot to think about, and it wasn't overt. It wasn't in your face. I did like the fact that we had red, white, and blue. We had patriotism. We had the military. We had a lot of positive points to the Super Bowl in general. Now, I is more going to be revealed? I would tend to think so. That's usually the way it happens. But, oh boy.
A lot of social unification, too, in the commercials. The one commercial where Snoop Dogg goes to Tom Brady, I hate you. Well, I hate you. And then it's like, can't we all just love?
Well, one of the things that I found very interesting is on one of the commercials, what did they talk about? They talked about Area 51. They joked that all of the major celebrities are essentially aliens. So what does that make you think of? It makes you think of imposters. It makes you think of people not being who they claim to be. At least that's how I took it.
Wow.
Yeah. And again, like I'm not a big Super Bowl. I'm not a big football fan. Yes, I'm in Kansas, and yes, it's fun to see, the winning team when you're part of the area. Was in Denver both years that the Broncos won. And growing up, I was born in Denver. It was cool to see them win. I'm just not a big sports fan. It really takes me to the feed the people bread in Caesars Arena, distraction of what's really going on. And the video I sent you today, I think there are lots of embers smoldering right now. You've got particular groups on overpasses being idiots, and the community itself came out in force to run them off, and it just takes just one spark, man, and we have a really bad situation going on across this country. So head on a swivel still.
I agree. We don't know how it's going to play out. Don said the halftime show was so good with all the hidden messages. I think in that respect, Don, I agree. There was a lot going on. It made you think. It made people question the narratives, which I think is a very good thing. G-Moss said Snoop is going down. It wouldn't surprise me, and we'll have to see how it plays out. We have Christy B, 78 from Hayesville, Kansas. Welcome, Christy.
Did you guys see the border czar, the statement he made to the cartel saying, if one troop or American soldier gets hurt, the wrath of Trump will come down on all you guys?
I didn't see that, but it doesn't surprise me.
I sent you the video on TikTok. So basically, the border czar that Trump appointed,
Tom Holman,
he was on a news interview, and he said very clear and very simple, the message to the cartel is, we're taking your operation down, and if one of our Americans get hurt, you will feel the wrath of Trump, and he has the power to annihilate you guys in one move.
Well, I think there's probably a lot of truth in that.
Now listen to this. Now the reporter asked him, do you think the violence will increase? He's like, yeah, I believe the cartels are going to strike back, and they are going to use excessive force. They are already. But we're ready for them, and if one soldier at the border gets hurt, we will annihilate them because Trump is a powerful president, and you don't want to mess with Trump.
Yeah. Hey, guys, I'm going to try and move this around here, so if I lose one of you, just bear with me here.
Which made me think that thing that happened in Philadelphia, that was an airplane. That made me believe it was a missile from the cartel.
What do you want to move around, Sam?
Well, I wanted to get you up on top and Ronnie below.
I don't think we can swap that. Ronnie would have to drop and come back in.
So, Ronnie, drop out, and then I'll bring you back on.
Okay.
We have a special guest here. I'm not sure if she's going to come on or not, but I'm hopeful that she will. If she doesn't want to, she will remain nameless. But she knows who she is. And if you would like to come on after speaking this afternoon, I would be happy to bring you up. And if you want to just sit and listen, I'm cool with that too. So you just let me know in the chat if you want to come on. So again, if you're on TikTok, double tap that screen. Let's share this live out. Let's get some people piled in here. If you're on X, YouTube, or Rumble, please give us a thumbs up or the positive affirmation button. It would be appreciated. So now let's see. We have a couple of things, well, several things to go over. We talked a little bit about the Super Bowl, and I am hesitant to make any conclusions at this point because I don't think we have enough information. But I think that is going to be more revealed. I don't know what happened to Ronnie. I don't know if he's come back on or not.
I think he'll come back. He'll come back. I'll watch for him.
Okay. So anyway, the symbolism that I saw, the patriotism, the military, was encouraging to me. I mean, this is the first time in I don't know how many Super Bowls where we did not have some garbage, satanic ritual going on during the halftime show. That in and of itself was very encouraging to me. What do you think, Alex?
I agree. I think that just the overall messaging, and I don't recall a single big pharma ad.
There was one from Pfizer. Yeah, there was. And it was about conquering cancer and some other things. But there only one was surprising to me. I thought for sure it would be laden.
Super Bowls past, there were quite a few.
Yeah, exactly. There she is.
Well, hello.
She came on. All right, everybody, sit down. But this is Terry. This is my ex-wife. And she is joining us for this live on TikTok, Rumble, YouTube, and X. It's a world premiere. Welcome, Terry.
Hi, Terry. Nice to meet you.
I didn't mean to press to go live. But I'm live now.
No such thing as coincidence.
Exactly.
Oh, gosh. Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I'm listening intently.
Yeah, of course. So, Alex, one of the things we're going to discuss is Terry sent me a message earlier, and we had a nice long conversation about it. And I want to kind of bounce it off of everybody here on the platform and get some input. So, first thing she said is, I'm watching some of your reports. Can you address the white supremacist rise, the patriarchy, possibly trying to suppress women, races, and non-Christians? So we're going to take this in stages, Terry, because there's a lot to unpack here. So as I said earlier today, I don't believe there is a white supremacist epidemic happening in America. And I would be happy to address specific portions if you could say, well, this is where I saw this and this is who was there. But I think that there is a push by the people who used to control the levers of power to divide our country. Now, whether that division is black and white, men and women, gay or straight, they don't care. They just want us to be divided.
Republican or Democrat.
Exactly. So I don't think some of the things that we're saying, if they are even legitimate, because we talked about AI and CGI and all these other things, but I don't see that as being a real issue. I think it's more of a factor of division by the people that don't want us united. If you think about it, there are over 5,000 people to every one law enforcement or military personnel. So their whole goal is to keep us separated so that we cannot unite and bring this country together. Alex, what do you think? Give me your input on that.
Like you said, there's a lot to dissect there. So, Terry, I've had very similar conversations with my 28-year-old daughter.
Okay.
And, I think that there is a narrative that is pushed, and I've heard Nancy Pelosi, many say that if you repeat a lie often enough and loud enough, that people will start to believe it. And I don't for 1 second believe one narrative that Elon Musk is a Nazi and that was a salute that he did. I think that they look for any opportunity to sow fear. The whole psychology behind fight or flight and fear, and how when you can introduce fear into somebody's brain, the critical thinking aspect of it goes out the window because we're now in fight or flight. And so they learned that back in the 30s when War of the Worlds was a radio program, and they spoke in a very soft voice and told the story of how aliens had come down and were taking over and snatching, and people panicked. Like they really thought that that's what was happening. And an example of how people take things and run with it. We're all duped yesterday. There was thousands upon thousands of social media and X and all of these posts that Elon Musk bought commercials for the Super Bowl.
And it didn't wind up being true. So
it did. Now, do those groups of people exist in all countries around the world? Yes, but they are 0.001% of the population, and I think that the narrative that's pushed is if you do support the Orange Man, then you're part of that group, and they have tried to weave these ties to people that don't really exist. I think it's a narrative, because I know in my everyday life, as I go about things and things that I see and that I experience and that I do, and being part of very large crowds of people that do think that we need to make America great again, would give the shirt off of their back, regardless of whether you're LGBTQ, black, green, purple, blue. They don't care, right? I think the heart and soul of Americans
it's kindness. It's kindness and it's charity. I would agree. So
I would agree to that very in general. I really would. My concern is just like both sides feel like the other side goes way to the extreme or gets way out of hand. There is a lot of rhetoric going on, and I'm sorry I don't have the names right now because I didn't expect to go live.
that's okay. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. We're just talking.
No, I totally get that, and I thank you. And I'm on here because I really want to know what I'm missing, why other people have security in this this new with Trump, and what other people are not. I feel like whenever I do listen to the right or I listen to the left, the people on the right do not ever speak of the racial hate that's going on right now. And then truly there is some white supremacy going on. There is a agenda out there from the National Christians to keep women, I don't know if they would say it's down, but in the place where they think the women belong, in the home, and they do a lot of things to do that. And I have it from the mouths of the people that he appointed that I've heard them say the women belong in home. So I am just wondering if you guys feel like this is this an overview of how the right feels? Do you think it's just a small portion of people that are, like you said, that we have these extremists in every religion, every country? I understand that.
Well,
right.
Okay. I think
all religions have their extreme sides to them. And when I hear that statement about women belong in the home, I think that it's all tone is lost when you've already decided that what the person is saying is headed in a particular direction. But what I have heard and what I understand is when you look at statistically what how children have performed and grown and educated and all of these things, when there is a parent that can stay at home. Now, whether that's the wife or the husband, I don't think it matters, but
correct.
Going back to when,
and I see somebody saying, is there a problem with stay-at-home moms? Absolutely not. That was my biggest dream, to be a stay-at-home mom. So I'm not even saying there is a problem. So don't twist my words.
I'm not twisting.
No, not you. It was Tom Sanders Jr.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is that it feels like when I listen to people on the right, there is no addressing the issue with the voices coming out, talking very poorly about the races, talking about being superior to them, that they are in their place. And I don't know why I've heard that and you guys haven't. So that's what I am trying to find out. Like, are you guys hearing that?
Well,
do you guys hear that?
Well, I have not heard that. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not insinuating anything other than I haven't personally heard that. But it doesn't surprise me if somebody did say that. Their agenda would not be to unify the United States of America. Their agenda is to divide us. The same thing, the globalists, the one percenters.
One side or the other. I mean, there is an extreme amount of vilification on anybody that's in an extreme position, right? I personally have friends and family and extended family that are members of, that are Black, that are Asian, that are of Hispanic descent, that are LGBTQ. And if I personally was privy to anyone being anything less than respectful, I promise you, I'd be the first one to step up to the plate and say, hey, I don't agree with what you're saying. I would vigorously defend your right to be able to say whatever you want to say, but you can go somewhere else and say it, or I will go somewhere else where we don't have to listen to it. And I think different platforms in different circles, you're right, they do circulate that message. So what is our source? Where are we getting our news? Where are we hearing these things? And is there an agenda? Is there agenda to continue that narrative, to push it? Because I can tell you in everyday life, and I'm rural, I get it. I've lived in the big cities in Denver and Houston and Kansas City and example, I went with one of my very dear friends who's like 6'4", large colored man, and we went to an alt-Black establishment and sang karaoke. I sang karaoke, and I was the only white guy in there, and it was funny because
you're about as white as it gets.
100%. I sang Garth Brooks' "Friends in Low Places," and Craig, when I was done, Craig looks at me and he goes, "Man, you are the only white boy I know that could get a whole room full of Black people singing Garth Brooks."
Well, Terry, I got to tell you, what you're saying is resonating with people. You have AZ Wildflower just sent you roses. She sent you gifter badges. So what you're talking about, obviously, people are concerned about, and I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted you to come on. Because I want this platform to be an open platform where we can discuss things that are possibly controversial. And I
you know what? I'm not coming on to say what I'm hearing is fact. I'm really trying to dig deep and talk to people that I can find good information, true information, factual information, and it is very hard to do that because my algorithm might be sending me stuff that keeps me in that loop, which is why I want to talk to everybody and say, and I definitely know that people are very happy about Trump being the president, and I want to know why. Like, where do you get your, I mean, I know because we talked today, I understand that, but I understand that he's doing a lot of things also. I just am always wondering, like, why that part of his, and maybe it's not his platform, but what is being said, the young boys chanting to the girls in school, your body, my choice. I mean, those things are going on.
It's disgusting.
Yeah,
I know.
That's
disgusting.
See,
and if it was
and
one
I'm
of
not
my
saying
sons,
everybody believes that.
if
I'm
I
just
found
saying,
out, I found out one of my sons was doing that, I would snatch their ass up in a heartbeat.
Right.
Right.
Right. And I do believe most people would act that way. But I also think that the more we get indoctrinated or the more we hear something, we get desensitized by it. And then things start to shift. And I do have two beautiful, brilliant young ladies that are my daughters, and myself and my friends, and really anybody. I would fight for men this way too if I was hearing people were really so against them. And
Well,
I was asking Sam today because I really wanted to know, like, where is that in your talks? Like, are you hearing it? Why am I hearing it and you're not? So it was just important for me to say.
Right, and I think we sorted through that earlier, but I really want to make a point of, a lot of times narratives will be hijacked, whether it's by the left or by the right. Narratives have always been the driving force for forming public opinion. And because we're in this whirlwind of a historic time, it's amplified 100 times. So I think that, was that Alex?
Think about this. So, what, and you don't have to tell me if you don't want to, Terry, this is just a very obscure question, but what kind of car do you drive?
I drive an Expedition.
Okay, perfect. So before you drove an Expedition, how many Expeditions did you see on the highway? You didn't?
I don't know, because I didn't look.
But now that you have an Expedition, you see them everywhere, right?
No, because I don't pay attention to that stuff.
Well, it's an example for people.
I see what you're saying, yes.
Right. So when the way that our brain works, and whether it's the internal dialogue that we're feeding ourselves, that, I'm not enough, then my brain is going to go to work to find every single possible chance it can make that statement true. And so when I walk through life and I believe that there are these hateful groups out there, and there's a tiger around every corner waiting to eat me, or every woman that is out in public needs to beware of the guy around the corner. While that is somewhat true, not every man around the corner is out to do dubious things. And when we're fed that narrative, smile from a gentleman at a market can no longer be interpreted as simply a man being nice to somebody. He's some, you pig, what are you doing smiling at a woman you don't know? What's wrong with you? Like this whole feeding of the brain and what it starts looking for. So I think that's when we get to the real root of what happens with psychology and the way that things are manipulated and fed, and this is how they overthrow governments in other countries. They start a little whisper and it grows into a roar, right? And so if they continue to feed the whisper that there is this racism, and that everything that this current administration is doing, and you're seeing it over and over and over and over on the news, that the things that he's doing with the Department of Government Efficiency is going to, again, I've had this conversation with my daughter, is going to end the welfare ability to help people that are in need. And I don't believe that is the truth at all. I think that they're genuinely looking to get rid of the wasteful spending. They're looking for the fraud and call it what it is, the embezzlement that's been going on.
And because they're doing that,
right,
the other side is amplifying anything they can to fight that. It's kind of like a caged dog. You put them in a corner, they're liable to do anything. So let's do a little bit. Go ahead.
Maxine Waters, is played over and over and over and over on television. We're going to get out in the streets and we're going to fight. If it was Lindsey Graham saying that, then it would be inciting riots and causing an insurrection, or it would just what's for the goose isn't good for the gander, and that's why I don't know why.
I do feel that goes both ways. I just feel like
100%.
Oh yeah.
our country has to. I don't know if we don't feel we can get movement for the most part, unless it's done in such an extreme way or a response to an extreme thing. I think we do need more balance. I think we need to take each individual things. Yeah. So
Well,
I do appreciate you guys talking about that. I like hearing what you guys have to say.
well, and Terry, Dawn up on the chat said, interesting, Terry, I haven't heard of any of this. Lake Lala Kell said, are you hearing this personally or through a media source? And I think, again, this is a perfect example. When you're on a platform like this platform, you're free to speak your mind as long as it's done
Right.
Politely and with the hope of unification. I'm all for it. So I think
Right.
you just bringing this to the light in and of itself, I mean, we've got, this will be seen by thousands of people. And I
Right.
think that it's
Well, I
important.
did get it from, yes, absolutely. I got it from the media or my social media, and it was from the mouth of an appointee of something that he said and how he believed, where he believed women should be, and that they were beneath men. And
Wow, I've never heard
do
that.
I know it's a fact that he said that? No, that's why I'm on here, because I'm trying to fact check. What am I hearing? What are other people hearing? I also heard that there were white supremacists with signs hanging over a bridge. I believe it was in Atlanta, but I'm not positive.
It was up in Ohio, and
Okay.
that's a fact. And
And they
was
stopped them.
it was literally like maybe 10 or 15 people on a bridge. And I sent Sam a video. Maybe he can forward it to you. I freaking love the community's response to it.
Right.
I
Me
love
too.
what the community did to respond to that. And that's I'm a meditation teacher. I'm a super mellow, chill guy. But I think that there is a place and a time for standing up and violence and those things when it's necessary. But I can tell you, in all of the circle of people that I hang out with, run with, that would be considered supporters of the current administration or MAGA or whatever label you wanted to give that, I know damn good and well that if we saw those guys on the overpass being an idiot, we would have been the first ones in line to
Straighten them out.
Their narrative.
Exactly. So let me do some house cleaning here. Okay, everybody on TikTok, double tap that screen, share this live out. Let's get more people piled in here. If you are on TikTok, go over to Terry's TikTok profile. It's, what is it, Terry Hair and, what is it, Terry?
Terry Hair Beauty.
Terry's
Thank
Hair and
you,
Beauty.
guys.
Give her a follow. Let's get her some more followers through this. And if you can contribute to our daily goal, wonderful. If you're on X, YouTube, or Rumble, give us the thumbs up or the positive affirmation button. Thank you all so much. So yeah, Terry, I think just the fact that you just got another rose. Look at you. Go, girl.
Oh, thank you guys.
Yeah. So
I just appreciate
yeah, I think
you guys talking calmly and sharing your insight. I'm just trying to get as much information and truth as I can moving forward.
Well, like I said,
and kind of helping with my own fear in regards to this. So I appreciate your guys' time and honesty, and thank you for talking to me.
of course, Terry, you're welcome anytime. And like I said earlier, you're a critical thinker. You're intelligent. You're just asking the right questions. And those are what everybody should be thinking. But unfortunately, over the last 5, 6, 7 decades, people have fallen into a pattern of not thinking for themselves. And I think part of this great awakening is just waking people up to start thinking on their own, to start asking the right questions, to start searching and looking like you're doing. So my hat is off to you. I think that's wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you both. Have a good night. I'm going to get off this.
Okay,
Thanks
see you,
again.
Terry. Thanks for coming on.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
1 second, Terry. 1 second. I just, before you go, I wanted to echo the same thing that you said to us. I appreciate you being calm and being able to have a conversation and not confrontational and critical thinking and curious about, okay, hey, wait a minute, is what I'm seeing and hearing really what I'm seeing and hearing? So, friend me, message me if there's anything I could ever do to help, by all means, and thank you.
Thank you too.
Okay, see you,
I'm
Terry.
for humans, so let's go. Let's go, humans.
Exactly. There's only one
Okay.
race, the human
Thank you.
race.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, so let's see. We've got some people over here. We have Susie is here. Welcome, Susie. We got Michael in Ohio. We have Hillbilly Jones from Cleveland, Ohio. Wonderful. So if you are on TikTok, go ahead and double tap that screen, share this live out. Let us know where you're located. If you're on X, YouTube, or Rumble, please do the same thing. Give us a thumbs up, positive affirmation button, and send us a message in the chat. We'll see if we can get your questions answered.
Krista, I 100% agree. She said free speech isn't always what we agree with, but it should always be allowed. I say it all the time. I may not like what you have to say, but I'll vigorously defend your right to say it, right? As long as what you're saying, you cannot screen fire in a crowded theater, right? People get trampled and people die. That's very different than somebody's spewing something that is vulgar and disgusting. And the reality is when those people are spewing those things, they're just showing their light, right?
Right. Of course.
Now we see what you're made of, and I know that I want nothing to do with what you're made of. I want no part of that.
Right.
So you can scream it on whatever platform you want. I don't have to follow it.
Right.
You can scream it on a street corner. In Kansas, there's a particular religious Baptist church group. They picket soldiers' funerals with vile signs of people in positions doing things, and they say that God hates a particular people, and it's disgusting.
It is.
It's gross, and I then have to explain to my children as we're driving by and seeing those signs that, you know, those people have every right to stand on that street corner and say whatever they want to say, and what they're saying is pretty hateful and it's pretty disgusting, and I'm sorry that you had to see it, and we go on about our day.
Right.
But that's free speech, right?
Right. And like Terry and I discussed earlier offline backstage, I am the type of person that I want to see people happy. And if what your lifestyle is, if you're happy and nobody's getting hurt, it's none of my business. Do what you want to do.
Hey, what grown adults do in their bedroom is their business.
That's exactly.
I don't care.
Exactly. Okay, so we got Betty's Rubble is here. Hey, Betty, welcome. Amy said people are not in the panel at once. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe you could give us a little more explanation there. Michael said, I'm in Texas now. I'm an owner-operator trucker, and believe me, I see a lot and hear a lot. Well, tell us more about what you see, Michael. I'd love to hear it.
For sure.
Amy said, I learned more on the ones that have less. Krista7 Houston said, I'm a daughter of a Vietnam vet. I can only imagine.
Yes, and talking about the protesters at veterans' funerals.
Yeah, it's unacceptable. But again, we live in a country where you have free speech unless it's threatening someone's life or well-being. And I think that's important to make that distinguish, to distinguish between those two. So again, if you're on TikTok, double tap that screen, share this live out. If you can contribute to our daily goal, wonderful. Let us know where you're located so we can say hello. So we've got 3 short fingers from Northwood, Iowa. Welcome, 3 short fingers. I don't know what that means, but I kind of like that screen name. That's pretty cool. 3 short fingers. I wonder if they had some sort of a electric saw incident or something.
My brother had 2 short fingers from a saw accident.
Well, it's funny you say that. My dad was known as Big Mike. He owned a bar on Skid Row in downtown LA for 42 years.
Wow.
And my dad was one of the toughest men I've ever met. But he was missing his right index finger, half of his middle finger, and half of his thumb because he was building something at some point and lost control of the skill saw and lost 2 of his fingers. But you knew when Dad was mad and he pointed that stub at you, you knew that there was going to be some business happening right then and there.
And we have a friend here that same thing. He's missing several, about half of the fingers, and you go to shake his hand, and I'll tell you what, it's like sticking your hand in a vice. That dude has a grip like no other.
Exactly.
All right, dude,
Exactly. So Joy from Las Vegas. Hey, welcome, Joy. Michael
There's
said
something
he's
about Tulsi Gabbard supposed to be happening tomorrow, but I can't find anything.
okay.
on it.
So I heard this afternoon that Tulsi Gabbard went through the Senate approval at some level, and it was like 40. It was 46 to 53 or something. But that sets her up that they think it's going to happen tomorrow or Wednesday by midnight on Wednesday. Now I haven't been able to verify that, but that's what it sounds like.
It's not on the schedule yet, so that's, I know Thursday, was it Thursday is cash? Or is it Friday?
Oh, Dana Mackey's here. Hey, Dana, nice to see you here from Michigan. Three Short Fingers said I lost tips of three fingers in a work accident. Press brake bending metal. Oh, that makes sense. I'm sorry to hear that, but yeah.
Ali said he has a tattoo that says, oops, are you talking about Donnie Sweetheart? Oh, 3 short fingers. Gotcha.
Krista 7 Houston said, is Cash or RFK scheduled? Well, last time I heard when we did the live last week, Cash was scheduled for Thursday of this week, but I haven't been able to verify any of it. But I
don't see it on a schedule yet.
And I have a feeling. I have a feeling that.
Wait. 2:24 today, Senate committee delays vote for Cash. They delayed him again today.
Today?
At 2:30 today, they delayed Cash Patel again.
Till when?
It doesn't say. It just says Senate committee delays vote on Cash Patel, which was today at 2:24. Today's the 10th. Yeah, today.
Huh. No, today's not the 24th. Today's the 10th.
Tomorrow, here it is. Tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Central, Senate Majority Leader Thune on Gabbard nomination, and then Vice Chair Warren on Gabbard. But that doesn't say that it's going up for. Oh, they're just going to grandstand. That's what that's going to be.
Is it?
All right. I don't see anything in writing yet that says when these things are supposed to happen. So we'll keep paying attention, Sam. Your Daily Dispatch does a great job of keeping us all in line with what's coming. So
okay, well, we'll see what happens. I don't know. I think worst case we have a recess appointments. In fact, I heard that on February 17th, Congress is going to be on vacation. They're taking a break on the 17th, and that's when some people are speculating that Trump will go in with recess appointments. But again, it's just chatter at this point. So we'll have to wait and see. Amy says, thanks for the updates. You're welcome, Amy. So, Alex, this is our maiden voyage of our Live at 5 on Monday evenings. I'm pretty excited about it. I took that survey, and by far people were saying weekend and weekday evenings. So we decided everybody to land on a Monday so we could kind of recap the weekend on Monday evenings. And then we'll try either Friday or Saturday nights at 5 to recap the week. Are we still good with that, Alex?
Maybe Thursday. We'll discuss it, and you can put it out to the masses and
okay.
See. Fridays and Saturdays, obviously, with kids and family and things, may or may not work. But it's only 5 if you're West Coast. If
right.
The rest of the country would have to base their times off of. It's 7 for me, which is fine. I enjoy the good conversation, and again, wow, Terry was. Very cordial, like what a great conversation.
And she's a smart person. She thinks critically. When we were married, raising our kids, we could talk through things. I was probably more belligerent than she was. She was pretty calm. She's pretty calm. She's smart, and she knows how to think. And I think that's a lot of what we're seeing right now, Alex, is the push to get people to think for themselves again. Without government, telling them what to think, or the mainstream media influencing them. I think that's part of what this Great Awakening is all about.
I agree, and I think that the more that comes to light as fact, not conjecture and speculation and BS, but the more that the facts continue to come to the surface, and we've talked about this. Some people, you could tell them the sky is blue, and they will step outside and double check. Right. Okay, no, it's not blue. It's kind of purple. I mean,
right. I know.
It's going to take time.
I agree.
Michael asked, do y'all have an opinion on Moore versus Alliant? I've seen a lot of TikTok videos about that.
I'm not sure what that is. What is that?
I have yet to be able to find the actual case anywhere. I have yet to be able to find the documents anywhere.
What's it about, Alex?
Effectively dealing with banks and truth in lending, and it has a lot to do with the movement in financial institutions not being legitimate.
Okay.
Again, I have yet to find the actual case itself. I'm interested. I would love that.
Well, I find it interesting that President Trump decided that we're not going to mint any new pennies. Interesting.
Well,
because it costs us money.
Right.
My wife, really, Allie? She said to keep me busy. She's got lots of.
Oh, so that's the fringe benefit of having Alex on the Daily Dispatch special editions.
You can't read your book and be in our live at the same time, sweetheart.
Oh, that's classic. I love it. So, all right. Well, Alex, we've been on for almost an hour. Should we say we wrap it up at this point?
It's your show, boss. I'm along for the ride. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, like I said, there's a lot going on. Watch the Daily Dispatch and you'll get an idea, kind of a snapshot of what's happening each day. And then Alex and I lost Ronnie. Ronnie, if you can hear me, I'm sorry. I don't know why.
I never saw him request to come back up.
Yeah, I didn't either. So I'll talk to him afterward. Hey, Mega Dave's here too. Hey, Mega Dave. So like I said, we are going to plan on doing 2 lives on the evenings for the next little bit and see how it goes and see how everybody likes it. What's that?
Mega Dave said they're going to do a Biden penny. It doesn't have any sense though.
Good one, Dave. I like that. Excellent. So AZ Wildflower said, thank you. First live for me. Great job. Thank you, AZ Wildflower. Thank you for being here. And thank you for engaging. It was really, really a nice time. I'm glad that we got Terry on. And as I've said many times, I'm grateful that we have this platform that we can share with so many people and just have a unbiased, calm, respectful conversation. So Alex, any last words?
I find and have found over 52 years that when we listen to learn instead of listen to respond, it's a lot easier for us to find common ground. Critical thinking and asking questions goes a long way. But when we listen to learn and when we find ourselves in those difficult conversations, a very easy way to bring the tone back down and gain some understanding is one simple question. What do you want? Like, what is it that you want? And from there, we start to see people want equality. People want fairness. People want love and affection and consideration for our fellow man, right?
Right.
And so
mutual respect.
Be blessed. Approach everything with an open heart, and love is the highest vibration. And when you can approach even the most difficult situations with love here, it shines all around you and always seems to turn out better than you would have thought.
Always words of wisdom. I completely agree, Alex. Thank you so much. And everybody on TikTok, Rumble, YouTube, and X, thank you for being part of the maiden voyage of Live at 5. So have a wonderful evening, everybody, and we'll all talk again soon. Thanks again, Alex.
Yeah, thank you, Sam. Stay blessed, everybody. Bye-bye.